Okay, let's get start demo. Okay, so this is a Angular application where I just binding the card list. Okay, so which we'll implement here. Okay, so there's see there's a many list of that block which is I bind it over here, and also it's have edit delete functionality. But yeah, in this session we'll not implement those functionality, only with binding. We'll focus on this binding part. Okay, with the reusable component. Okay, so let's get start demo first. Implement Let's get start implement first. Okay, let's get start implement. uh, Before proceeding this session, okay, so I especially recommend to you go to my channel and watch my previous session where I just explain everything. What is Angular, how build your first application on Angular, what is the structure of this Angular, which file is what containing, also how we adding the bootstrap. So everything I just explain in great details, so please watch this session first. Okay, so let me open whatever we have done on the previous session. So same example I will taking over here. Okay, so this is same example. Okay, so I everything is explaining, so you can take you can go through my previous session. Okay, so let's run this application whatever we have taking the current example. So ng serve and see what we have right now. Okay, it's running. Let me open this. See, in previously we covered like the grid. Okay, with bootstrap grid. Okay, but now we'll create that card list, right? So what you need to do, you just open your application and just start to implementation, right? So let me close everything first, so that okay. So now what I will do, I just create uh, you know I have to create. Let me stop running application. Let me clear the terminal. Okay, so now what I need to do, I need to create one component, okay, which is reusable component that I can use another where is anywhere in application, right? So let me create a component. So this command is for create component is ng uh, generate C for command. Okay, this is a shortcut, but you can use full command ng generate then component. Okay, and the component name, so my component name would be card component. Okay, so click, hit enter. See, it is generating. Okay, and let me zoom in. Okay, see, the 4 file has been created, and that also updated in our app.module, which is a root module, right? So which is created. Now see, if you click inside the app, you will able to see those file as well. Okay, so this is a component. I already explained everything, what is the component and why, how we can use it. Okay, so let me open that HTML file first. Okay, so there's a the part of component, there's a four files, like one is CSS file, one is HTML file, one is a spec file, this is a testing prospective unit test, and this is a TS file. Okay, so if you open this HTML file, it is nothing, right? So what I need to do, I need to use some style where I can bind our card. Okay, so what I will do, very simple, I will just copy some style, the card style. Okay, which is I need to paste it over here. Okay, see, let me collapse. Okay, now see, this is a very simple card style. Okay, this is a card main div. Inside the div we have a image section, and it's have a card body section. Okay, and in this card body section I just added some titles and content, and also we have added few 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 button, right? Edit or delete and learn more button. Okay, so that is very simple. But yeah, one more things, like see, this component expected one input value, uh, input variables, right? Input entity. So that how we can pass it over here, this HTML. So that is our tricks. So what you can do, click that card component. Okay, here I need to specify that input variable. Okay, so let me create an input at the rate input. So this is a way input and output. Okay, once you use this input, it is inside this package actually, Angular, that core packages. Okay, so as an input, I have to pass parameter, right? So as an input, what would be the parameter? It would be a card data, right? And this card data can be any type. Okay, as of now any type, but we can use a strongly type as well. Okay, this is one. And then what I can do, I can just use this component can be reusable component, right? So it should be have some, uh, add, edit, delete functionality as well, so that I can use in a parent component. So there is some a combination also we can use it, like, child parent combination, that I'll explain. But yeah, just use that one. So if anything I have to pass from another parent component to child component, we can use the input. Okay, if some event, if I want to handle in this child to parent component, then I have to use that output parameter. Okay, okay, so use that output parameter. Okay, and in this output parameter you have to create a one event. Okay, that call whatever, you can just use it, let use that edit card. Okay, and that edit card we have to initialize with this event emitter. So event emitter, this one. Okay, and in here you can just pass it to any, because right now we have type of the any, but yeah, in later on, or whatever you want in this type, so that you can mention over here. Okay, so that is done for edit. Similar to we can do it uh, for delete as well. So let me create a delete card. Okay, so that is done. Then similar I can use that for that view view as well. Okay, so what I can do, as of now leave it for view, but yeah, let me create as actually view also. Let me create a view as well, or let's just leave it as of now. Okay, leave it. So okay, that is fine. So we have an input and we have as output. Okay, and then this thing I have to bind in our HTML file. Okay, so before that what I need to do, I need to just create this event uh, function as well. Okay, so that we can emit and we can get it outside of that. Okay, so how we can do that? It's very simple. I need to create inside this class. Okay, I need to create those event, like for example I want to create a this event, right? So delete card event, and then create a function. And in this function what I will do, I will just emit this one, or just just create any function, like for example on delete, right? On delete card, on delete card, or on just makes, on delete click, right? So that we can correlate it. Okay, this is what is the function. So this is function one, on delete click. Okay, so I just create that function name like that, and then what I need to do, I just emit this function to delete not this, I think this dot c one like this. So we have those parameter, right? So we can use that delete. Okay, where is delete? Yeah, this is a delete, and then emit. And what is the data we have to pass over here? The card one, right? So let me add the card. Okay, like that. So whatever child component, if you want to create any event which is calling to parent, so like that actually you have to just specify output parameter and click event, and in this click event you have to emit those data. So that means this data then you can get it from the parent component. Okay, similar way I will do for this edit. So on edit, okay, and on edit click, and here what I will do, I'll just create similar this dot edit card dot emit, and then pass to this card. Okay, this is done. Okay, so this is done. So card is created. Okay, and if you go to HTML, so whatever I input specify, this is input, right? So input data, I'll just see I getting the data like that based on the attribute direct, and this is an attribute directive. Okay, so attribute binding actually. So based on this actually I can directly get this data like this way. And there's another way of binding. So see, this is a binding up is a two-way binding, so we can use this, double curly bracket, and we can get this data as well. Okay, and see here I just create a click button. Okay, click event, and this function I call over here, which is we just created over here. Okay, on delete, on edit. Okay, and those I just pass it to like that. Okay, and this click event I specify bind the click event. Okay, that's it. So card component is created. Now I need to create a parent component which is called this card component. Okay, so how we can do that? Let me create again, uh, for example, see ng generate component, and then specify that card list. Okay, and then hit enter. Again, see this file has created an update in app.module.ts file. Okay, so see, this is one, this is file is created. Okay, go to the HTML file. Again, it is nothing. Okay, remove that extra default one. And now what I will do, again I need to call no that this card. Okay, this card I need to call this parent component. Okay, so how we can do that? It is very simple. Need to add app and then card. Okay, how would I know like this is app and then add, because I just created card component, right? So how is why I'm adding app? Okay, so let me explain that. If you go to ts file, okay, see, the selector is a component I define is a selector, right? A decorate actually this component. So this component as decorate is a selector, and I may specify name of this component is a app hyphen dot card. Okay, so that's why I just calling over here as a app dot here. Okay, and now what I need to do, I need to pass some data. Because this is a component, it's have a some input and output variable, right? So that I need to pass. So how we can pass it? It's very simple. For example, you can just use the attribute binding and then use that card data. Okay, and here the card data I can specify whatever our data, right? So this is a data, don't worry about that. I'll just use as a variable, but yeah, I'll explain also like how we can get this data. Okay, so this is the binding things I'm explaining. So similar I just binding for that edit or delete event as well. Okay, so how we can do that? It's very simple. Use that just create a edit card. Okay, whatever we use, so similar we have to use over here, and then use edit card which will create it over here, and we pass it to like whatever event. Okay, so let me pass it to event. Okay, similar I need to create for delete. Okay, delete and delete card, and then what we'll do, I just create a delete card. Okay, and that function pass it to dollar event. Okay, so this is done. This is way actually where I can just use an parent component and pass it to our input and output event. Okay, and what I need to do now, I need to actually see this is a single component, right? So this component, if I pass this one entity, so it will bind over here. Okay, so similar approach I need to do. For example, like I need to iterate a collection, and that collection call again and again this function and pass it to data and get the data. Okay, like that. So how we can do that? I just create a div function. Okay, and just down inside this component. Okay, and inside this div, what I will use a directive. Okay, so the what is the directive? It's a directive name is ng4. Okay, so this is a directory which helps to iterate our collections. Okay, as like for loop. Okay, so let card of whatever our collection name, so that we have to specify over here. Okay, so that one, so don't worry about that, where I will get. Now see, it is clear, right? So I just create a card, so that card I mention is a input value. Okay, wherever binding, but now its question is why it's where is coming this guy. Okay, so this guy also will create in a ts file, don't worry, and let me save it. Okay, and then what I will do, I just go to the ts file. Okay, in this component html file I just binding these things. Okay, then I just need to call in a ts file, and here actually the role of this binding. Okay, so what I will do, I just create a one dummy data over here, so all it is an card data list. Okay, and type is the any type of the array. Okay, here I just populate some dummy data. Okay, but yeah, in upcoming session we'll use call as a service and calling the api and consume this api and get this data over there. But yeah, for the initial level it is very important the way we have to know like how we can bind the data as a data binding, right? So yeah, what I will do, just create some data over here. So I just create an empty array, and then inside this empty array I will add some data. Okay, so for example, uh, like my first data would be like say id, image uri, title, and content, right? So like that we have to create others data as well. So let me copy instead of wasting time. Okay, so now see, there's a five data I just created over here, the dummy data. Let me collapse this one. Okay, so the data as to created. Okay, now I just create some function, right? So this function I just created. So this function also I have to create it in here. Neither it will give some error, right? It will complaining actually. So as a for the will implement later, but yeah, for the function we'll create it. Okay, as of now, and but and then later we'll implement like add, edit, delete everything. But yeah, just create that function. So what is the function name? I just call this card list edit card, call this function and pass it to card data, and then any. Okay, and create this function and leave it as function, later will be implement, right? Okay, similar I'll use delete card. Okay, so let me create same similar way. Okay, card data, and then any, and we'll implement later, right? Okay, now save it. Okay, now our card and card list has ready. Okay, okay, so what I need to do, I need to run actually and see what's actually behavior. It's uh, what's the behavior. Okay, so let me run ngs. Okay, it's running, just open. Now see, uh, still that old component is visible, right? Means whatever the previous implementation in the my first session, so that still is there. Okay, so my component is not visible because let me show you in the partially. Okay, because if you go to our main component, so where is our main component? Main root component is a app.component.html file, right? So here if you see, I just call xyz component, that's why it's not calling our component. So what I will do, I just remove whatever in previously, just remove that and call our component. So what is our component? Now see, once I remove, it's just clean, right? Nothing is there. So what I will do, just call my component. So what is my component? App dot card uh, dot list, right? So let me call and save. Once I save, see, uh, it is populating, right? Let me zoom in. Okay, it is populating, but yeah, some style is not looks good, right? Because some images is very high resolution, and it's showing as a full screen, right? But yeah, so let me change it. Okay, let me fix that. So let me open again our application. Okay, so how we can fix it with it is very easy. Actually, we have to add some bootstrap style. So go to HTML. Okay, here I need to set some styling. Okay, so let me add those style. So what I need to do first, I need to add some container. Okay, let me add this container and close this container. Okay, so this is first, and then what I need to do, uh, I need to add a list. Okay, in the top it shows it should show as a list. So how we can add this, just create another div. Okay, and inside that div I just add a blog list as a h1 tag, and just add some bootstrap style. Okay, so that it should be a center. So this is one, and the last things what I need to do, I need to add some rows actually. So see, uh, this is a card, right? So this card actually adding some rows, row and columns things. Okay, so what I will do, I will just use another div. Okay, which is just inside the div I just enter those things. Okay, so let me add one div, and this div is nothing, just add some it just maintaining actually the center of this component. Okay, it should be keep in the center. So let me close that div tag. Okay, and then what I need to do, I need to specify row and column. So this is actually column, this is column, but yeah, on the top it should be a row. Okay, so I just need to create another div, and should be close here. Okay, so okay, so that is done. And one last thing I have to specify, see, I specify row, but I have specify some column size as well. So that I need to do based on this class. Okay, like that. Actually I specify column made 6 and margin should be 5. Okay, then save and go back. Now see, it looks like as our demo which we saw in the starting, right? So now it is very simple. We have to bind our with the reusable component. Okay, but yeah, in upcoming session we'll use how we can add the data, so that automatically it should be binding and adding in this list. Okay, then how we can edit this data, and how we can delete the data as well. Okay, so till now, thank you, have a nice day, and don't forget to subscribe, like and share.